This is the KUAM Podcast Network, where nothing is. I'm Destiny Cruz-Langus.
And I'm Matsuki Hirayama. This episode is positively packed with tail-wagging stories for Clear the Shelter Month. We're unleashing the heart behind the mission to help every pup find their forever home.
So sit, stay, and listen. You won't want to miss this barktastic adventure.
Day, welcome to another episode of Off the Record, where nothing is, with the KUAM podcast. I'm Matsuki Hirayama.
And I'm Destiny Cruz-Langus. Thank you guys so much for joining us for another episode. This is a really significant month for both of us as dog lovers, as animal lovers. It is Clear the Shelter Month. Yeah, very important. So we're going to have some folks come in from GAIN. They're going to talk to us a little bit more about what this month means. But for now, you're going to be stuck with Suki and I, and we're going to talk a little bit more about our personal experiences with our pets as dog moms, like Suki mentioned, what it means to be responsible pet owners. And I really do want to pick Suki's brain because she is our resident reporter here. She gets in the nitty-gritty. So she has a lot of professional and personal experience. So before we get into that, Sukes, we are dog moms.
We are dog moms, mamacita.
Mamacita, mommies.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. So can you tell us a little bit more about your fur baby?
My fur baby? Well, her name is Chimmy, and I think I got her around the, pandemic time, in the start of the pandemic. So she's truly a little bit antisocial pandemic baby. But yes, her name is Chimmy. She's a Lhasa Apso, and I think she's around 5 years old now.
She's still a baby.
Yeah,
she really
still
is.
A baby. But I know you're a dog mom of two. Tell
I
us
am.
About your kiddos.
So I have two puppies. They're not really puppies anymore. So I have Mr. Chopsticks. He's a Shih Tzu. He actually just turned 10 years old. I'm still crying about it in my heart because he's still my forever baby. And then I have Hagrid. He's a Shih Poo. So he's a Shih Tzu and a Poodle. And he's 7 years old. So in many ways, they are old men, but in my heart, they are still children.
Grandparents.
Grandparents.
Yes. But we love it. We love Mononco.
Yes, period.
Our Mononco fur babies.
Mononco fur babies. Comment below if you guys have Mononco fur babies. So tell us a little bit more about Chimmy. What is it about her that brings you joy?
Just her whole existence. I mean, if you guys are dog moms or dog dads out there, you guys would know, just what having a fur baby can mean to you. And I had this conversation with Jason, actually, last week.
Cute.
But, I was telling him, what would you do? I actually had this conversation with Jason and Jake, but, but yeah, I asked him, what would you do if you only had, 10 minutes left on Earth? What would be the last thing you do?
Oh,
and then I was saying, I would probably just cuddle with Chimmy and just, hug her. That's how much I love her. But
no, I feel you, girl.
And then Jason goes, I'll probably talk to my family. Tell them I love them.
Well, you know what?
Valid.
You know what? That is valid, though, because I think that in many ways, our pets are our family. Yeah. You know? So I think that the
Don't
two connect. No, you already know. So we also have talked about this. We're do you ever just look at your dogs and cry? All the time. Literally all the time. Just thinking about them. Because to me, I think animals really remind me how, and I know this might sound crazy to some people, but
how fragile life is.
Yes, and also how pure love can be. Because I think when I see my dogs, really their sole purpose is to experience life and to love and be loved. It's as simple as that. And they also remind me, I get teary-eyed just when my dogs are looking out the window or they get excited to just sniff grass. I'm
and roll around.
And roll around.
Maybe it could be poop or cow poop, but
we'll still...
Love is unconditional.
Amen.
You just gotta wash them.
You just gotta wash them. But they really do remind you to take a moment and experience the objective reality that we're in. The wind is blowing and they're just taking in life, and I'm it could be just as simple as that. And so I try to be present with them in that moment.
And that's truly what matters.
Yeah, amen.
It hurts my heart to but it hurts my heart to know that dogs, their lifespan are so short.
I know.
And probably up to 16 years or something, and I just can't even imagine life without my dog.
I feel you. It's like one of my biggest fears. Because honestly, it's not an if, it's a when.
Yeah.
But again, I think that's what makes, spending time on Earth so precious, is that we know
And
it's
being
not
present.
forever. Yeah. So yeah, just to, kind of continue the conversation, but also just switch gears a little bit. We know that you have personal and professional experience when it comes to animals. You report on it often. So what was like a story that really struck you or stuck with you that you've covered?
To this day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like there's quite a few actually, just off the top of my head. I mean, I remember there was this one instance where there was this Dalmatian who had he basically had like a humongous like golf size I think it was called like a gallbladder stone. Correct me if I'm wrong, my friends again, but it was like huge, and he essentially from what I recall, I think he might have been abandoned by his owners. And I think it was when they moved from the house, and then he just kind of got left behind at the home. And then the neighbors called it in. But just hearing about these instances where not even just this case, but other cases where dogs get adopted again. I mean, yes, we want to push out the importance of clear their shelters, but we also want to push out the information that it's important to be responsible pet owners at the same time. And yeah, just hearing these stories and like encountering them it's kind of heartbreaking. But I mean, I feel like that's the importance of this month, is really pushing awareness to these kind of things.
Amen. And when we talk about also responsible pet ownership, I think what are like some tips I guess we can both share for those who are interested in being pet owners? Well, for me, I just when I first got my babies, one thing that was really pushed on us was being aware of parvo. So making sure that your babies are vaccinated, that you keep them up to date, just to protect them and to also protect other dogs. There's also spay and neuter options. And then, something as simple as keeping your baby on a leash when you're out. Because we also know that stray dogs is also an issue on our island. So just making sure that, safety is priority. So keeping them on a leash, but, keep them comfortable at the same time. What are some tips that you can share?
I was actually gonna bring up like the whole the leash issue, because honestly, I'm not gonna lie, some of my family members, they don't really follow it all the time, but I'm always like, Dad, put Chimmy on a leash. Like, I mean, yes, like my dog is like a daddy's girl, so like she'll just like follow him around everywhere, and like so he feels like that she doesn't really need a leash because she listens to him well. But then for me, like, she does not listen to me when I tell her, stop, Jimmy, don't run across the road. Like, don't run across the street. So I always like to have her on like a little harness and like one of those leashes. But yeah,
she's
a very good tip.
Love it. Okay, so those are great tips and then I guess I'm gonna cry.
No, don't cry.
I guess for me, just to continue the conversation, it's going like
in circles. But back to being like responsible pet owners, right?
And like also just being loving pet owners. I think for me, again, like dogs in general, but animals in general, they really remind us of how like precious life is, and also how, just to reiterate myself, how precious life is. And I think sometimes as humans, we have the tendency to negate their value. And sometimes we see animals as their lives being less significant than ours. And this is just my personal view. I really truly believe that every living being on this planet is significant. We're all here experiencing life together. So I think it's really important to be respectful of life and to just value them.
Treat them. A good rule of thumb would be just speaking on responsible pet ownership. Just treat your fur baby as if you would treat any member of your family.
Amen, sister.
So,
Amen.
tip of the day, tip of the month for August.
Because they really are our children.
Yeah.
They really are.
Mamacita.
Mamacita, mommy. Okay, guys. Well, thank you for letting Suki and I, get a little emotional. And we're gonna, bring in our folks from Gain. They're gonna tell us a little bit more about this month, and we're gonna have
see
a surprise.
Yep.
So stay tuned.
Let me keep my lips sealed. Welcome back to Off the Record, where nothing is. We're here with our friend Stephanie from Gain to talk about Clear the Shelter Month. Hi, Stephanie.
Hello. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for being here.
We have a special guest here, Dexter. He's a puppy available for adoption from Gain. He's a little sleepy today.
He's just a little tired.
He's so cute.
We were all just saying off camera, we immediately reverted to baby talk
Yep.
because he is truly a baby. How old is Mr. Dexter?
He is about 10 or 11 weeks old.
A little baby.
He was just born.
Yeah, he has not
He's taking
been
a nap.
on island long, but he is going to be available for adoption this week, starting this week.
Yay, Mr. Dexter. And he's so precious. He just has a very chill spirit. Like, he automatically calmed everyone down. We just love having him in here. And look at him. He's already sleeping. No big deal. No
He's
big
like,
deal.
no pressure. Oh, putting me on camera? I can perform
Right.
by napping.
Period. You're doing amazing, sweetie. Oh my
Super
God.
amazing.
So we wanted to also ask you a little bit more about Clear the Shelters. Can you tell us
Absolutely.
a little bit more about it?
Absolutely. So Clear the Shelter is a nationwide event, really. All the shelters across the country are working together to clear their shelters. We share our data here on island with all the shelters stateside so that we all are sharing each other's wins. And the goal is just to really bring awareness to shelters and rescues, adoptions, and helping get animals out of the shelter by encouraging adoptions and educating families on the benefits of adoption and just taking every step of the way we can to get the information out there that we're here, we're on island, we have adoptable pets, and now's the month, if you've been thinking about it, to come through and do it.
And
Yes.
it's super, super duper important to clear the shelters. I mean, not just this month, but throughout the whole year.
Exactly.
I feel like every time I go up to Chico, which is our only animal shelter in Guam, that there's always your shelters are always filled with puppies or dogs, even older dogs as well.
Exactly. So on our little island here, we do have a pet overpopulation crisis. We have more animals that live on island than houses to home them all. So it's always a hard battle to face of like, what do we do with all of these animals? And Gain, it's our only shelter on island, we do take animals in from the public, from the streets, from their homes, unwanted animals, and as they come through our shelter, we do everything in our power to adopt out as many lives as possible. So every time someone adopts from the shelter, it opens up space for another animal to come in. So we always kind of talk about how when you adopt one animal, you're not saving just that one life. You're saving the life of that other animal who gets to move into that space. And so it really has this effect of, like a waterfall effect, that it just keeps good things happen when you adopt. It helps others along the way.
Yeah, and who wouldn't want to adopt
Right?
Dexter? Look at him, he's so cute.
He's so
just
well
chilling.
behaved, so chill. But yeah, you mentioned also like the benefits of adopting. Of course, we know, as you mentioned, it's that waterfall effect. But for families who may be hesitant to bring, a new baby into their space, can you just touch on those benefits? What are those benefits?
Yeah, so bringing an animal in your home has proven to lower a lot of stress in the home. Having an animal to greet you when you come home that's just super happy to see you, it really makes you forget about your boss who yelled at you today, possibly, or that upset customer who was unrealistic in their expectations. And so you walk in the door and you're feeling that gray cloud of just, today wasn't the best day, and you have a happy, fluffy creature run up to you, and you coming home is the highlight of their day, and they're just so euphoric at seeing you. it's contagious. And it just definitely brings the whole energy up. And so animals really are the most loving companions, and they give us more love than we could ever give them.
Oh,
Truly,
that's so beautiful.
yeah.
We were just talking about that earlier. That is so true. And, you know, for those who also don't know, what is the process like to adopt?
Oh yeah, so we try to make it super easy. We do not want there to be barriers for adoption. So our process is very simple. You go to our website, you fill out an application, and if it's a good fit, we fill it out. And by good fit, it's just things like if it's really hyper dog and you're perhaps a couch potato family, you know, that might not be the right fit. But if you're a hiking family, oh yeah, absolutely, right fit. The energy levels match. Luckily, that is very common to happen on island, where the families, when they meet a dog, they generally know the vibe.
Yeah.
And it works out. So you just apply on our website. We process the application, and most of our animals are go home ready. Puppies and kittens, they just go directly home. Some adult animals have to wait until they're spayed or neutered to head home, but then basically they just get to go home with you. And we're there to support families all along the way, so our adopters can always reach out to us after adoption for any kind of counseling if they're having a hard time with any kind of training, or if there's anything to help minimize impact on the family to make it a smooth transition. We are there for post-adoption support as well. So we're there for the life of the animal.
Yeah. And for families who may not be quite ready yet to adopt a fur baby, no matter how cute they are, that's there. But I know you guys have like a foster program going on.
Absolutely. So there are a lot of homes on island that landlords do not allow animals to live there permanently, or people may not think now's the right time to have a animal come to their home permanently. So we have a lot of different programs where if you still have the spirit of support, we will take you. We have our volunteer program where people can come to the shelter and walk our adult dogs, socialize them, interact with our cats and kittens, and really get them positive human exposure to get them adoption ready. And if people don't have time to come to the shelter during working hours, we do have our foster program. And that is where animals that are not ready to go up to our adoption kennels need to go into a home. The most common with those tend to be puppies and kittens, smaller animals that come in too young for surgery, because we can only adopt out animals once they're sterilized. So, and we can't sterilize animals until they're 8 weeks old. So if an animal comes in that's 6 weeks old or younger, they have to go into foster care because we don't really have the resources or space at the shelter for them. And then once they're ready, they just come back, get fixed, and move right to adoption row. So fostering is a great way to support us if you're not ready to bring an animal home permanently. It helps maybe you get used to having animals in the home, as well as helping us relieve space at the shelter and just giving some love for an animal temporary. On average, most foster commitments are about 2 to 3 weeks.
Wow.
I
He's
think
dreaming.
I know he's he like caught my eye. I was like, oh my gosh.
He's twitching. He's having a dream.
Oh my gosh, my
doggy
dogs do that all the time. They're like running in their sleep. It's so sweet.
It means that they're extra calm.
Yay! Oh, so Dexter, I hope that we are relaxing for you right now.
ASMR.
ASMR.
I guess we're not talking too loudly.
Oh, I love that.
Adorable.
And of course, we know as Clear the Shelter approaches,
Yes.
or as it's here.
We're here.
Yeah,
We
we're
are
here already.
this month.
We are here. Can you tell us a little bit more about what Gain's doing? Are you guys hosting anything? How can
Yeah.
the community get involved?
Absolutely. So we definitely, in order to encourage people to come to the shelter adopt, we are discounting our adoption fees all month to $100.
Oh, nice.
So adopting a cat, kitten, dog, puppy, they're all just $100 flat. And we do have some other promotions we're doing throughout the month. For example, we're having Meow Mondays. So
Cute.
so every Monday this month,
I love the alliteration.
cats will be $60 discounted. We're also having Wagon Wednesdays, where all dogs and puppies going home are going home with a free collar and leash. And we're also having furry fryays.
Cute.
We're
We love our
having
fries.
$7 microchip promotions every month.
Wow.
Microchips are something that are vital for reunification on island. We get a lot of stray animals in that clearly had been someone's pet, but without a microchip, we have no way of contacting the owner. So we really are doing everything we can to get as many animals on island microchipped so that in the event they're lost or come into the shelter or run away, we can scan them and reunite quickly. We recently had a family that had lost their dog for 2 years, but it had a microchip when it came in, and we were able to call them and reunite.
Beautiful.
The animal had made it on the other side of the island, not quite sure how, but things happen. So that's why microchipping is so vital and important. So on Fridays, we're definitely highlighting that. We also are at the end of the month on August 30th. We're having a big community event at the shelter. Ooh. It's a big open house. We're inviting everyone in the community to come out. We're going to have food trucks, carabao rides, adoption promos, vendors. It's just going to be everything that you could possibly want to do on a weekend day at the shelter. So people can come in, eat, be merry, support some local businesses. Just stop by to see if you do fall in love with anyone at our shelter. And come through.
Yeah, amazing. I gotta go there. August,
Amen.
And then August
30th.
And
August
earlier,
30th.
you kind of talked about the issue of overcrowding, overpopulation on an island of stray animals. And this is kind of a sidebar, but not to keep our shelters clear, not just this month, but all year long.
Yes.
One important thing that you guys always do is your SNP clinics.
Exactly.
And I know you're having one like sometime later this month, right?
Correct. Yeah. So the number one way to combat the overpopulation issue we're having on island, to minimize the amount of animals coming through the shelter, which will help the successful outcomes, is to sterilize animals. That is spay and neutering so that they no longer make unwanted litters. And we do that via our SNP clinic. We're the only low-cost spay-neuter clinic on island. They're normally up in Jigo Monday to Thursday, but we try to pack up our clinic and move south as often as we can. We are very lucky that we are currently hosting our next one down in Talafofo. It's going to be the first time.
Cross country.
So we are going south. We are getting as far south as we can for this time. And it's going to be August 12th to the 15th. Currently is the first week. And we'll open up the second week as soon as the first week fills out. So if you live anywhere south and can't make it up to Jigo, Talafofo is where it's at.
Diva.
Appointments are available now on our website, snipclinicguam.com, so people can go fill in their animals' information. We'll have both of our veterinarians working at the same time. So we have the capacity to do 300 animals at this clinic.
Woo!
So we just need the community to step up and book those appointment slots because we'll be there, our vets, our team, and everybody. And if the community wanted to help out with that, we also are seeking volunteers to help. And our volunteers come out to our community clinics and they help with things like monitoring recovery after surgery, keeping an eye on everybody, helping keep it clean, and just learn stuff as they go along. And it's a lot of fun, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
And your SNP clinic is so important because
Yes.
when there are litters of puppies or even kittens out on the streets, sometimes they don't always all make it, and they don't always make it to the shelter as well. So.
Guam has a lot of hazards for puppies and kittens to make it successfully. One of the two biggest things that puppies, for example, face on island is worm burden and parvo. Mm-hmm. Those are two infections. One's parasitic and one is a virus that if you get too many parasites in you, it unfortunately can cause puppies who are very weak and have poor immune systems, especially if they're out in the streets and not getting well fed, to perish, unfortunately. Or, parvo is near fatal without hospitalization. And of course, a stray mama dog can't check her her puppies into the clinic if they get sick. And so we just really want to stress getting your pets sterilized so they don't meet those, so unwanted litters don't face those fates, as well as vaccinating your pets, going to the vets on island to get them vaccinated so we have less animals contracting parvo and less spread, and just, taking care of their pets so that we're not getting those unwanted litters that make our job harder.
There we go.
Because it is very difficult to get animals adopted out. Like I said, there's more animals than there are homes, and it's really hard on those weeks that, we'll get 30 new puppies in. Our foster program can only take in so much, so we really just need the community adopting as many as possible, so we keep open space, fostering so we can move into foster care, and sterilizing so that we can minimize the amount of puppies coming through. If someone does find themselves in a situation where their personal pet has given birth, we actually do have a program now, thank goodness to the Payless Foundation, where they sponsored our Her Last Litter program, where if you surrender all your puppies from your personal pet, we'll sterilize mom for free.
Whoa.
Yeah, we will get her in the SNP clinic for free. You just turn in the puppies, and then we'll spay mom for free. And then she will no longer make any puppies. And it's been very well received. And we're very grateful for the Payless Foundation supporting that initiative so that we can work to minimize the amount of animals being born on island.
Viva. All right. Well, thank you both so much for coming in today.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for being here.
I think Dexter is ready to go.
Yeah, he's
home.
ready to go. But last thing we ask, if you can just tell our viewers out there a little bit more about Dexter and anybody who's interested in having him in their forever home.
Absolutely. So this is Dexter. He is he's what we would affectionately call a lowrider. You can kind of tell. He has short little stubby legs. He's about 10, 11 weeks old, male. So with Dexter's adoption, he'll come neutered, which is the sterilization surgery. He'll come microchipped, vaccinated, dewormed, on flea and tick prevention, everything you need so he's ready to go home.
Yay!
Yeah. And I think he is ready.
He's ready
for his forever home.
All right. Well, thank you guys again so much.
Thank you.
And yeah, you guys, please
Check them out.
Check out
Chigo
Dexter
gang.
and all the amazing, beautiful animals that are hoping to get their forever home.
I
We'll
mean,
see you
literally, how can you resist?
Right? Okay, bye guys.
Bye.
Off the Record is part of the KUAM Podcast Network. Watch more episodes on the KUAM News YouTube channel and listen on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts.